Natural wine is made from organic or biodynamic grapes. It's made from a wild fermentation with no yeast added, little to no sulfur, no filtration. That's it. It's very simple. It's wine in its raw, natural state. Nothing added, nothing taken away. You know, natural wine to me, it's like going and seeing a live show. You know, the experience is very different to what you might get from a very heavily produced studio album. It's in the moment, it's in the season, it's a real expression of time and place. It's what happened that year in the vineyard, in the winery, with that wild yeast, with those beautiful organic grapes, and really just no heavy-handed approach in the making of that wine.
Because of the way we treat our fruit when it comes into the winery, when you're drinking Devotus, you're drinking raw Pinot Noir. We do very little to the wine or to the grapes when it comes into the winery. So when you taste that glass of Devotus, you're tasting something that actually happened that year in the vineyard.
For me, natural wine is really it's a fun and explosive way to express our sense of place. It's an opportunity to make wines with no safety net, out there on the limb, with raw textural qualities. The wines are arguably more visceral, more punchy and intense than perhaps what the classical or mainstream winemaking would traditionally have us.
By making it in the city, in the heart of Wellington, we hope people can come in and learn about the process, see the wines in development, you know, see fruit arriving in from Martinborough or Nelson, see us crushing it with our feet and throwing it in a pot and waiting for the yeast to start fermenting it. You know, we have so much interesting culture, so many interesting things happening here. To not be part of that seemed like a missed opportunity. So that's why we're making the beer and now the wine right here in the heart of Wellington.
Because we focus so much on the kind of produce, finding the best local, natural, organic produce we can find. For the pasta side, it kind of makes sense for the beverage list to follow suit. So the response here has been absolutely awesome. We just open a couple every day. We keep the wine list small, but we change it regularly, so there's always something fun and exciting and accessible for people to grab hold of. And you know, every time guests come in, they can try something new and try something different. And I think people really enjoy that, and they're happy to kind of give it a go. It was kind of quite an easy, simple decision to look for wines that had a real sense of place, for wines that kind of cared for, or winemakers, or the process that cared for the environment around, or the ecosystem with which the wine's grown. And I guess great wine, great pasta are kind of synonymous. They work really well together. So it's all high octane, really kind of buzzing environment with natural wine included.
What we want to do with the wines we're producing is really sort of demystify the process. We want to make it accessible to people, make it accessible to a younger audience, people who might not have tried wine before or have felt too intimidated. I mean, wine should be fun, beer should be fun. It should just be a delicious thing you enjoy with friends.
Just like with beer or wine or anything else, there shouldn't be any kind of idea that you have to know anything about it before you jump in and try it. It's just a drink, and it's there to be enjoyed. So you don't have to use any fancy words, you don't have to have any kind of fancy knowledge or anything like that. You can just jump in and try it, and learn as much as you want to learn, or get as involved as you want to. But also it's just there to be enjoyed.
That's the beautiful thing about Wellington. You've got the culture, you've got the food and the cuisine and the production now, be it craft beer or chocolate or coffee, and now natural wine, all in the heart of the city. It's amazing.